Hello, and welcome to the 6-Second Cover Letter course. I'm your instructor, Joel Quass. We're going to go through all the steps and talk about the different types of job search letters, and that's where we're going to start. So if your cover letter hasn't been making the phone ring, it's not your fault. There's a lot of information out there, a lot of Google searches will give you all kinds of recommendations and tips about what's important in a cover letter and what you need to do. And those online templates really don't always give you all the information that you need in order to be successful and also get an attention-getting letter out of the template. And that's really, in the end, that's the biggest issue that I find, is that so many of the cover letters I've seen and that I've worked on behalf of my clients have been those, I read with interest your position posting for da-da-da-da-da. And most recruiters and hiring managers won't even read that. In fact, they really say that over 99% of the cover letters that they get are not attention-getting. And I'm going to teach you how to get their attention. And it's going to be in a positive way, and in a way that will get them to want to know more about you. And that's really what it's all about, because when you're not there, the cover letter and the resume are the two things that act on your behalf. And what you really want to do is to get those instruments to make the hiring manager call you and get in front of them so that you can show them that you are the right person for the position. So there's a couple of things we're going to learn today. And as we go through the course, you're going to learn the types of job search letters that are out there. We're also going to talk about the true purpose of a cover letter or a job search letter, and the reason really that you're writing it, and that makes you much more effective in how you think about it and how you craft it. And then I'm going to show you my system for the best ways to research that cover letter before you actually write it. There's a lot of steps that I take on behalf of my clients to make sure that they have all the right information in that cover letter and that it is attention-getting. And one of the most important things about that is really how you start it. And we'll get into that, and I'll actually give you examples as we go through the course. But I started this whole process quite a few years ago. It was actually in the late 80s, and I had a vending business that I was running. I'd bought the business with $90,000 in gross sales, and in 20 months I had $250,000 in gross sales, and that was pretty exciting. I was actually had negotiated a contract with the Anheuser-Busch Brewery in Williamsburg, Virginia, to do their vending. And as I was doing that, I met the fellow who had the snack bar concession, and it turned out he always had wanted to be in the vending business. So the next thing I know, I've sold my business, and I'm looking around, and I realized that I didn't have a job. But what I did have was a mortgage, 3 small children, and a wife. So I needed to get cracking. So back then, before internet, before all of the tools that we have today, I used 3x5 cards and the Sunday paper mostly. And that's how I began my job search. But even back then, cover letters were a big part of what I did to land the jobs that the offers that I got and the position that I had for 27 and a half years. And so it was very exciting to be able to use that. And it turns out today that what I'm going to teach you is working even better with the tools that are available in today's environment. So like I say, the technology really works better. Now you just ask Siri or you perform a Google search, and things that I had to go to the library to research are available instantaneously. And so it makes the process that I created all those years ago even more effective. And I'm excited to share that with you as we go through the cover letter workshop here. So there's really a lot of different types of job search letters. The job posting cover letter is what we're going to talk about today, and that's really effective when you have a job posting, you have a URL, you know what the requirements are for the position, so you're able to go ahead and act on that and use all of those bullet points in the job posting to craft your cover letter along with the research that we'll get to in a minute. There's a cold call or an inquiry letter, which is really great if you've decided you want to work for XYZ company. You can do your research and then craft a letter that says, I'm so and so. I've been following your company for years. I like the way you do this. Your thoughts and interests are the same as mine, and I'd be interested in seeing if my skills might have benefit for your company. You're not really asking for a job. You're asking to learn more about their company and how you might at some point fit in. Recruiter letters specifically to a recruiter. There's a way to kind of couch that to get their attention. Networking letters. Again, you're not asking for the position, but you're asking to kind of get your foot into how you would land a job in a particular company, and maybe get a referral, those sorts of things, which is a referral letter. And then there's also the thank you letters, both email and snail mail, which I still highly recommend. And then there's also letters, maybe you've been out of the job market for a long time or have specific situations that would require a little more detail up front in order to make you a viable candidate for the position. So those are really the different types of job search letters that are available. But today we're going to talk about the cover letter and use that cover letter as it relates to a job posting, and then how you would do the research to craft a cover letter that's going to get the attention of the reader and get them to give you a call. So I'll be back in just a second with the next video, and we'll get started in the process.